Hello guys, this is your boy Ken Swinger and welcome back once again to another video on my YouTube channel. Always, if you're new here and you're looking to improve as a forex trader, I recommend you like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification so that whenever I post educative content like this, you'll be notified as fast as possible. And in this video, I want us to, disintegrate. I'm trying to be funny here. I want us to discuss some few interesting pairs that I'm currently seeing on the market. That is Nasdaq, Eurusd, and gold. These pairs are looking very interesting. I felt, I suggest share this analysis with you guys so you guys can also see how I also look at the market. And if you want me to continue on after watching this video and you want me to continue on making this kind of content, I mean analyzing the market and always posting it for you guys to see how I also look at the market, just leave a comment below so that I'll just know how you guys feel, okay? Because this channel is for you guys, so you just have to show me what you guys like, and I will do it for you, okay? So just let me know after watching this video, comment section. If you like it, then I'm going to do more of it. So without not wasting my time, let's just dive straight into this video. And the first pair I would like us to discuss is Nasdaq. Nasdaq is looking very, very interesting from higher time frames to the lower time frames, and the quote data report that also got released this yesterday, that was Friday, looks very, very, very interesting. Okay, it's really aligned with the technicals that you are seeing, so it's a very good, interesting opportunity that you can all utilize. So let's just start from the higher time frame and let's just break it down. And clearly, as you can see, Nasdaq generally has been moving to the upside. Okay, so one tip I'll give you whenever you're trading Nasdaq is don't you have to look more of buys. That's one thing I've experienced from my back percent and all that. That's what I've experienced. You're trading Nasdaq, just look for more buys and sells, because you can see in a market like that has been trending to the upside for a very long time. You can see this is the monthly time frame. You can see how Nasdaq has been pushing to the upside. So currently, the current price action that we can see here is Nasdaq impulsing all the way to the upside, breaking this previous resistance zone. As you can see now, turning support right here. You can see the market broke impulsively, and the market came all the way down to test this. And one way you can see this is using our Fibonacci to do what? To measure the impulse all the way to the upside, and you can see that the market did what? The market came all the way back to test our 0.5 Fibonacci level, which also aligned perfectly with structure right here. You can see this is really making sense. Okay, you can see this is really making sense. The market came all the way to test with our 0.5 Fibonacci level, which also aligned perfectly with structure. And on the monthly time frame, you can see immediately price tested the monthly the Fibonacci level and the monthly resistance zone. You can see the previous monthly resistance zone. You can see how it got rejected immediately. Nasdaq is really fast, okay? So it moves. Its movement is kind of different from how the currencies move. So on the weekly time frame, what we can see clearly is the structure even becomes more clearer. You can see the market coming all the way down to retest these key zones, which was very crucial. You can see, let me use my brush to got rejected, price broke through, and price is coming all the way back to test that same zone again. So there's a high possibility that price will continue going to the upside. Okay, to the upside. This analysis is straightforward. You can see how the crazy rejection came here earlier on, got rejected, came second day again and got rejected, and that even formed a double bottom. Okay, so that even formed a double bottom. You can see a nice double bottom. I saw a lot of traders, profiting on this double bottom trade. I saw it right here. It was a very good setup, but I was waiting for price to align with how I was comfortable taking it. And on the daily time frame, what we can clearly see is the market doing what? Forming a W formation. I'm talking about this W formation, always coming all the way to test to the neckline, and from here expecting all this move all the way to the upside. And it even becomes more clearer if we switch to a line chart. You can see this nice W formation. The market's coming all the way back to retest to our neckline and explosion to the upside. You can see this retest right here. And also on the daily time frame, you can also see this inverse head and shoulder pattern playing out right here. And the same thing, you can also use the line charts. You can see this inverse head and shoulder pattern coming off right here. Oh, let me draw it well. You can see this inverse head and shoulder pattern coming off right here. Boom, all the way to the upside. Okay, so the price action now we are currently seeing on Nasdaq is looking really, really solid. And you can see immediately it came to test it came to test this resistance zone again, because on the daily time frame you can clearly see that the market did what? You can see the market had a resistance here. Let's go on a 4 hour. I think it's going to be much clearer. You can see the market had some kind of resistance here. The market broke above and came all the way to test this. Okay, so what I'll be doing on this 4 hour time frame is monitoring price action just about this zone. I'll monitoring price action just about this zone. You can see immediately the market formed the other leg of the inverted and shoulder pattern. You can see the market making some kind of reaction right here. But because I saw this move on Friday, I wasn't interested in taking this move right here. So I just wanted to be patient and see how, if the market opens, how I'm also going to react, how price is going to continue reacting, and upon that I'm going to make a decision to find a trading opportunity all the way to this resistance. At least I'll make sure by here of taking partial profit just about this point. Because you can see a clear resistance zone right there, for which price can immediately reverse all the way to the downside. Okay, so from when price get to this point, I'll be looking to be taking partial profit. And what can actually happen, because I'm expecting a long-term move on Nasdaq to make this strong push all the way to this highs right here. Okay, so I'll be monitoring price. After getting a good entry from here, I'll be taking partial profit, but I won't close. I won't completely exit my position. I'll be taking partial profit and I'll allow the rest to run. And price can easily do what? Break above this zone, retest. This will be probably next 2 weeks. This move I'm telling you can probably next 2 weeks or even next week, because I mean Nasdaq is really fast. It can do that easily, make this strong move. And from here I'll be looking to add another position right here. If it presents itself like I'm anticipating, then I'll be looking for another move right here all the way to the upside. So it's a swing move actually. It's a swing move actually, but I'm taking it one after the time. Okay, so after taking my partial profit just about this point, I'm looking for entry just about from this place all the way to this place to this our previous resistance, and from your monitoring price to make another buy move all the way to the upside. Okay, so Nasdaq is looking really interesting. Let me bring the core data report that got released on Nasdaq, so that you get to know that our technical house is also perfectly aligning with what we are seeing on the core data report. Okay, I'm just trying to bring the core data report to the screen so that you see how the big banks are also behaving. I mean, the big players in the market, the big boys, those who really move the market. Okay, we the retail traders, we don't really move the market. These players, or these guys, the non-commercials and commercials, are the people who really move the market. You get me? So you have to trade alongside with them. You don't have to trade against them. And if you haven't watched my previous video talking about how to use the core data report, guys, just after watching this video, just check it out. There's a lot of educative content there. I explain detailed on how to use the core data report in confluence with your technical, so that you can get confirm setups. And this is another example that I'm currently about to show you here on Nasdaq. You can see this is the core data report on Nasdaq, and I mean, I don't go deep into where you can get this data and all that. I mean, I've explained everything in the other video, so just go check it out and you understand everything. So last week report that got released on Nasdaq was looking very interesting. Clearly you can see the non-commercials. You can see that previously we had 62,452 longs, and we had 74,951 shorts. Okay, so clearly we had more shorts than longs. Okay, we clearly had more shorts than longs. And the recent report, that is yesterday's report that came, shows that the bear banks are beginning to close a lot of longs, a lot of shorts, and are beginning to add a lot of longs. Clearly you can see they are closing 5,156 shorts and adding 5,843 long. So you can see that the momentum is shifting. Okay, and also in our technical aspect, we clearly saw that Nasdaq looked really bullish. Okay, you saw Nasdaq was looking really bullish. I mean, all the technicals, everything is aligning perfectly from the monthly time frame to our daily time frame, and even our 4 hour price action looks very bullish, for which you can really utilize on this kind of moves. And also the code report also came, is showing clearly that there is some kind of shift that is really going on right here. You can see how the big banks are beginning to do what? Are beginning to close a lot of shorts and beginning to add a lot of loss. These are the kind of code data reports that we love to see, because with our technical being bullish and we see clear change of momentum in the big banks side, we can clearly get confidence that we can look for entries on our 4 hour and even on our 1 hour to get a nice risk reward trade all the way to this previous resistance here, like we were discussing. I hope you are really enjoying this analysis that you are doing here. If you're enjoying, just leave a comment below. Let me know you're enjoying this analysis, so that I can continue to make this kind of analysis for you guys, so you guys can also get to learn something from how I also get to look at the market. Okay. So Nasdaq is looking really really interesting. I mean, it's one of my high pairs on my watch list. In this coming week, I'm looking closely on Nasdaq to utilize on it. So without no wasting my time, let's just move straight to Eurusd. Eurusd is also looking very, very fantastic. That we can utilize, looking really, really good. We can utilize on Euro USD. Okay, we can utilize on Euro USD. Let me just clean everything so that you will see how price is behaving. So on a monthly time frame on Euro USD, you can see an interesting price action that is going on right here. You can see price did what? Price made an impulsive move, breaking this previous resistance zone and came all the way to test this height right here. And you can see immediately it tested that high, it got rejected immediately all the way to the downside. And previously, when I saw this price action, I was expecting price to retest after testing this resistance zone. I was expecting price to continue, to reverse from here and continue going to the upside. But I changed my mind, and I can't tell you why. Because you can see this week right here, you can see price on the lower time frame. When you go to the lower time frame, it's much clearer. But on the monthly time frame, you can see this, the market broke below the resistance zone right here, and you can see this weak rejection and got rejected. And when you go to the lower time frame, this kind of weak rejection is just a retracement on the lower time frames. Okay, whenever you see a candlestick formation or a candlestick that's having a long wick below it, when you go in the lower time frames, and I like to spot this kind of patterns on the weekly and even on the monthly too. It works on all time frames too, but because I'm a swing trader, I like spotting this kind of candles on the higher time frame, so that when I go in the lower time frame, I can get a trading opportunity with it. I hope I'm making sense. So you can see the market did what? Broke below this resistance zone and got rejected. And you can see the same example, like the candlestick formation I'm telling you. You can see the previous candle before this current monthly candle. You can see that what did the market do? Came to down here on the resistance zone, rejected, and like I said, it's just a retracement to lower time frames. And you can see it bounced back all the way to the downside, creating this monthly candle, bearish candle. And you can see the same thing is happening, breaking below this resistance zone and getting rejected. So it's also a retracement on the lower time frames. And when you continue going to lower time frames, you understand why I'm saying that. And that is why I think it's going to continue going to the downside. And also our core data report that got released is also confirming this kind of bearish movement to the downside. So let's just continue our analysis. So we are expecting more continuation to the downside on Eurusd on the monthly time frame. You can see how the price is very, very bearish on the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, I don't know why I sound confused. Sorry, guys. So on the weekly time frame, you can see an information. You can see an information right here. You can see an information. Whenever it's information, expecting price to bounce back to our neckline from here. Price will do what? Price will bounce up. And clearly, like I said earlier on, the trick I use in finding my zones right there correctly is switching to line chart. You can see this nice formation playing out right here. Okay, so I'm really looking forward to this analysis because it looks really really clean. And for us to know when the retracement is going to end, we use our Fibonacci to measure the what? We use our Fibonacci to measure our impulse all the way to the downside. And clearly you can see that the market did what? The market has just retraced to our first Fibonacci level, that's a 0.382 Fib level, for which makes it a valid retracement that you can easily from here get price impulsing all the way to the downside. And also considering how our weekly candle closed, okay, considering how our weekly candle closed, we can expect price to go all the way to downside. And it's the same concept I was explaining to you on the monthly time frame. Okay, the same concept. That's as I was explaining to you on the monthly time frame. Whenever you see a candle closing, leaving a long wick in a clear trending market, unquote, in a clear trending market. Okay, so you can't just be looking for this kind of candles anywhere and think, because I said whenever you see a candlestick formation closing even a long wick, then most of the times the next candle should fill it. Because I said it doesn't mean that whenever you're on the market, then whenever you see this kind of candlestick formation, then you are trading, you are going to the lower time frame to look for the next movement to fill it. It doesn't work like that. You have to look for this kind of candles in a clear trending market, okay, or in a clear pattern formation. You can see this M formation that has currently tested to a neckline, which also aligned with 0.382 Fibonacci level, because you can see there's a clear structure here. You can see this rejection. When you go on the daily time frame, you can see that this is a clear structure there. There's a clear structure there. So let's just go there. Let's go on the daily time frame. You can see that 0.382 Fibonacci level is aligning perfectly with structure. You can see this is a clear structure right here on the daily time frame. Price just came all the way to test it, which also aligned perfectly with 0.382 Fibonacci level. So from here, what we'll be doing from here is I'll be monitoring price on the 4-hour time frame. I'm just going 4-hour time frame. You can see that price is looking very bullish right now. Everything shows that price is looking very bullish. So I'll be monitoring price on the 4-hour time frame to get confirmations just about these zones, and I'll be riding price all the way to the downside. Okay, so this Eurusd setup is looking very clean for a sell, at least just to break this low right here, because you know in a clear downtrend market, the market is moving in lower low and lower highs. So since we have a lower low right here and a lower high, we are expecting price to form another lower low all the way to the downside. So Eurusd is looking very good. And the technicals, everything is shifting to a bearish aspect. And what even makes it more interesting is our core data report that we have on the euro. Okay, let me just bring the euro core data report here. Let me just bring the euro core data report right here. Yeah, so this is the core data report for the euro. And when you check the core data report for the euro, you automatically check in for euro USD, because all currencies is traded against the euro. So when you check euro, you automatically check in euro USD. Okay, so clearly you can see previously they had 207,588 longs and they had 105,624 short. Okay, so clearly they had more longs than short. You get me? They had more longs than short. You can see this is a clear strength here. And the recent report that got released, these are changes. You can see these changes right here. The recent report that got released on the euro says that the big banks are beginning to close 15,000 15,000 and 15,016. The tickets are really confusing. 15,067 and adding 8,957 short. Okay, so clearly you can see this also a change in momentum right here. You can see that clearly we had more longs than short, and you can see the recent report that came shows that the big ones are beginning to close a lot of longs and adding a lot of short. And also you can see this is also aligning perfectly with our technicals we are seeing right here. You can see that you have a nice daily ICI right here, for which you can really utilize on markets we're currently retesting to a previous structure that got broken impulsively. So from here, we're monitoring price on the forward to get a confirmed trade all the way to down here to form a lower low. So you can see how perfect the euro USD setup is really looking, that I'm really looking for to utilize both on the Nasdaq and euro USD. They're all looking super duper that we can utilize. Okay, so if you have any question about the analysis that I've done so far, and if you are also enjoying it, guys, just leave a comment below. Let me just know how you guys are feeling on this video. If I should continue, then I'll continue to make more of this kind of content. Okay, so the last setup I would like us to discuss right here is the gold. Okay, gold is looking very good. Let me just take you guys through real quick right now, so that you guys will also see how gold is looking right here. Okay, so currently on the monthly time frame, you can see right here that gold, the current price just broke below a resistance zone. You can see it's from this move right here and just broke this resistance zone right here. Okay, you can see Let me just use a price. You can see when you use a line chart, I use a line chart a lot, guys. It really works. You can see from a lower low, a lower high, and now forming a lower low. So you're expecting price from a lower high once again. Okay. And one thing we can also see on the monthly time frame is price just forming an M formation. Price just forming an M formation. That we're expecting price to go all the way to hit the neckline to do what before you can see any potential signs of a reversal to the downside. Okay. So we are really looking forward for a reversal all the way to the upside to at least this level. This our monthly neckline zone. And on the weekly, when you go on the weekly, you can see the market doing what, making a strong push all the way to the upside. And whenever we see an impulse in the market, we're expecting the market to form what, a retracement before another impulse. Okay. And this thing looks really good right here. You can see the market making a strong push to the downside, breaking below this zone right here, so expecting price to make a push to test this zone before any continuation or any further movements to the upside. Okay. And for us to know where our retracement is going to end, we have to use our Fibonacci to measure the impulse all the way to the upside. And you can see that price hasn't even tested our first Fibonacci level yet. Okay, but I believe it will go all the way to test our golden Fibonacci level, because that is the level that is aligning perfectly with structure. You can see our first Fibonacci level, that is 0.382. There is no structure right there. There's nothing here. Here is empty. Our second Fibonacci, that is 0.5. There's no structure here. Okay, let's just say it will test in between our 0.5 Fibonacci level and as 0.618. That's a golden Fibonacci level. Let's just look in between that zone. Price to go all the way to this upside to test this zone, because that is the level that is aligning perfectly with our Fibonacci level, so that that makes it more relevant. Okay, I hope I'm making sense with this explanation that I'm making here. Okay, so I'm expecting price to make a strong push all the way to the upside, even though it might react to our Fibonacci levels when it gets to this point. They all look valid. Okay, but on the higher time frames, I'm expecting price to go all the way up to test our 0.5 or 0.618 Fibonacci level. Okay, so the weekly also look very bullish. Now on the daily, okay, on the daily things really get interesting. On the daily, on the daily, you're currently seeing something like a W formation, a reversal pattern right there. You can see price has just gone all the way to test our neckline, and immediately price tested the neckline. Price rejected impulsively all the way to the upside. Okay, so you can see how effective these M and W formations are. So you can see immediately price came all the way. You can see a nice W formation. Immediately price came all the way to test the neckline. Price just got rejected immediately and started moving to the upside. And like Nasdaq, gold also moves really fast. And when gold begins to move, gold moves really fast. Okay, so because I saw this move on Friday, I wasn't really interested joining this buy move Friday. Okay, I don't like taking trades on Friday, to be sincere. Okay, so price made a strong push all the way to the upside on the 4-hour time frame. So I was just monitoring price. Okay, just about this zone, you can see price. Let me just share a tip here with you. You can see immediately price made a strong push to the upside. It broke above this key level. You can see there's a strong key level here. So there's a high possibility that price will just do what? Price will just come right here. And then from here, impulse all the way to the upside. Okay, from here, impulse all the way to the upside on the 1 hour. Because this place is really significant. You can see price started behaving. You can see a red candle with the price go to that zone, but you can see it got rejected immediately and started moving to the upside on the 1 hour. But let's see how when the market opens. You can see I'm expecting to see more price action just about this zone. I'm not sure it's going to move that fast. It will just behave. I'll watch its behavior just right here, and I see some kind of a correction, a bearish correction. Then I'll a bullish correction. Then I'll look in getting an entry from here all the way to the upside. At least I've taken my first take profit just about the first Fibonacci level, because it's also significant. When you come on the 4-hour time frame, you can see that you can see a significant zone right here. Okay, even though you don't see it well on the daily, on the common of hour, you can see a zone right here. Even though you're expecting price to go all the way to 0.5 Fibonacci level, because that is the level that is also aligning perfectly well with structure. But like I said, we'll be splitting to get our first take profit just about this zone, and if price is to continue to the upside, then we capitalize on that move all the way to the upside. Okay, so gold is also looking really interesting, but we have to check the core data report on gold so that we see what is currently happening on gold. And the core data report that came on gold is not aligning perfectly like we normally expect to see. You can see Nasdaq, you can see Eurusd, you can see a clear shift of momentum on the big bands aspect. Okay, you can see clearly they are shifting their direction into the direction that is also aligned perfectly with the technicals. But on gold, you can see something funny playing out right here. Okay, on gold, you can see something funny playing out right here. We are expecting to get more longs to the upside because the technicals look very bullish. But the big bands, the recent report that came shows that they are adding a lot of shorts and closing a lot of longs. Okay, clearly they had 254,839 longs and 79,676 shorts. Okay, so clearly they had more longs than short, and the recent report that came is saying that they are closing more longs and are beginning to add more shorts. But you also have the bullish technicals. Okay, so you can see there's not there's no alignment here because the quote was saying likewise, but that doesn't mean that our technicals is wrong. Okay, this is just when I saw this interesting situation on gold, I just felt like you can see this time around that we are seeing a wrong, or I won't say wrong, a different report from the code type, which is not also aligning with our technicals. I just added gold to the setup so that you can also learn something from here. So what are you going to do in this kind of situation? Okay, if you're having a good technicals, a very nice technicals, but a code type report is not confirming with our technicals, what are you going to do? What I'm going to do from here is you can see this report that came, this recent report that came showed it's not a report that is going to happen on next week. Okay, this report here is not the fact that we're having more long than short doesn't mean that automatically price is going to sell next week. Okay, this report is showing you what happened last week. So this is like a past report. Okay, so the whole of last week, what the big banks were doing on gold, that's what they were doing. They were adding more shorts than longs. Okay, so we don't know what is going to happen in next week. Okay, that is why you can't fully rely on the code data report. The code data report just give you heads up on what the big ones are doing, so that you can see that if it's in alignment. Okay, so if they're already in more short position and your setup is also in short position, then it makes it perfect. But when you're in short position and the big banks are not in a short position, it doesn't mean that the setup is strong. This is what we were doing last week. So it can be that this coming week they will begin to add more shorts than longs. Okay, sorry, they'll begin to add more longs than shorts, because we're expecting more longs on gold. So it can be that this coming week the big banks will change their mind and they will begin to add more shorts, more longs than short. Okay, so we just have to keep tight. Okay, I'm not fully confident in the gold setup yet because of how the code report is, but nonetheless I'll still be looking at price on the 4 hour time frame to see if there's going to be a bullish formation. If I see the price is still bullish, it's showing some bullish correction on the 1 hour and the 4 and the 4 hour, then I'm looking to get an entry. At least I won't go all in on the gold setup. I'll just play safe on the gold setup and see how gold is really going to play out. Okay, so you can see all our three setups are looking. They are very interesting scenarios in which you can learn from them with the code data report and also with our technicals. Okay, they are all looking really good. Okay, so if you've made it to the end of this video, I recommend you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell notification so whenever I post educative content like this, you'll be notified as fast as possible. And like I said earlier on, if you enjoyed this analysis that I did and you want me to be doing more of this analysis on the channel, just drop a like on this video or leave a comment below so that I'll get to know how you guys feel about this video, so I can continue to make the content that you guys like. Thank you for sticking to the end, and see you in the next one.